Welcome everyone today to the August webinar for the Brownfields Technical Assistance Program. This webinar is presented by myself, Tyler McDaniel, with Blueprint Kentucky, and is a partnership between us at Blueprint Kentucky and the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet's Brownfields office. We have a partnership where we provide technical assistance around brownfield properties throughout the state of Kentucky. So if your community has a property you're interested in pursuing a cleanup grant or an assessment grant on, please reach out to us. This partnership, it sort of allows us to reach more communities through education, through outreach, and like today, through amplifying the great work that's happening in these really complex projects around the state of Kentucky. So within this, we offer those technical assistance services to help communities become more competitive in the application itself. The larger Brownfields federal grant application is doing some specific outreach and engagement strategies that we believe can also lead to bigger long-term impacts in communities as they, pursue other sources of funding or planning generally. So a little bit of housekeeping for today before we launch into our presentation. The chat is disabled, but the Q&A section should work. So please, if anything comes up throughout the presentation that you're curious about, throw it into the Q&A section, and hopefully we'll have some really great questions for our presenters at the end. And this is also being recorded, so it will be on the Blueprint Kentucky YouTube page within the next week. So if you'd like to share it out, the link will be there. That page also houses the entire catalog of our Brownfields webinars. Last week we had a similar sort of program about the Hayeswood Hospital in Maysville, and next month, we're going to have a program about code enforcement that focuses on Hazard, Kentucky and Louisville, Kentucky, and ways that they're sort of using policy and code enforcement to encourage community redevelopment. So subscribe there, look for this posting, and share with your friends who cannot be there. So today, I'm going to introduce very briefly sort of our two presenters, and then I'll hand it over to them to give the more proper introductions. So we have Michael Smith from the city of Paris joining us, and Anna Allen Edwards, formerly of the city of Paris, right? But also just a really passionate neighborhood resident who was involved in this project. So I will let them do their more formalized intros and kick it off. So Anna, would you like to intro yourself first?
My name is Anna Allen Edwards, and I am a native Parisian, not a native parasite, is what they say, parasites if you're not native to Paris. And I grew up on the west side of Paris, Kentucky, because there were no other options when I was growing up, because I grew up during segregation, and those areas were specifically prescribed for African Americans. And so the West Side was one of the areas that African Americans could live in. And it's also where our high school was located, which was the only African American high school in the county. So I grew up on the West Side. I'm a former city commissioner, former planning and zoning commissioner, and a retired UK Director of Medical Center Minority Affairs and Graduate School Diversity, and former IRSer, former school teacher. So life is just interesting, and I always see opportunities and challenges, and this was one that the Lord allowed me to work in. So I'll pitch it over to Mike so he can introduce himself.
I'm Michael Smith. I'm the Public Works Superintendent for the city of Paris. I've been with the city for 25 years. I saw the opportunity to do something good for the neighborhood and for the city. So mainly for the neighborhood, it really helped out getting it out of the neighborhood. You can already tell the difference between the big trucks driving over there and to the old transfer station driving through a neighborhood to get there. And we've noticed a big difference in traffic and everything, traffic patterns. So it was a great project. It was a short project, but it seemed like it was long. But we're heading in the right direction, and hopefully the next steps will get us to where we need to be.
Okay. Tyler, you can start the slides. Did they run away?
Can you all see them? Can you see the slides?
I can't.
You cannot. Okay.
So let me get out of gallery and go to speaker view. I can see them now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, of course, as Tyler already said, and we want to reiterate, we want to thank you for joining. Thank you for your interest in what we did. It's been a process, and often you don't know how significant it is until you look back over your journey. And what we want to do today is just to give you a little bit of our history and share a little bit about our journey and talk about what's next. And so we're going to look at some of our greatest challenges, and we're going to go looking for our new chapter. And we're going to go to the next slide where we have the timeline. I hope you all can see this timeline, but this lets you know from the start until where we are now. And what's interesting is that at the bottom of it, and I have to pay homage to my middle sister, she was a lifelong West Side resident. She never left Paris, whereas I did, and also I left the West Side. But the first meeting was October the 2nd, 2019. And the reason why I remember it is because it was her birthday, and she came in with a birthday tiara on to celebrate what we were going to be doing in the neighborhood. She was a passionate resident. As a matter of fact, not only did we have a transfer station in our neighborhood, which we called the dump, but we also had a landfill. And she and another resident went to a city commissioner meeting because she was really concerned about the vermin that were coming out of the landfill. They took the refuse from an area that was continuously flooded, and there was a rock quarry next to our house, and it was a big hole in the ground. And the city decided to fill that hole up with the junk and the refuse, as I said, from other areas of the community. And the problem with doing that is that vermin don't know that your property line ends here, and they're not supposed to cross that property line. So they started crossing the property line onto our property. And she captured a huge roach, one of those wood roaches is what I heard they were. And she put it in a jar, a couple of them, but she put them in a jar. And she went to a city commissioners meeting, and she wanted something done about that landfill. And they were like, well, we really can't do anything, da, 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 da. And so with the gentleman who was with her, she said, Leland, open that jar. And he went to take the lid off that jar with those roaches in it to put it on the city commissioner's table. And all of a sudden they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And as a consequence, the landfill got capped off. But that's the kind of person she was. And unfortunately, she was killed before we were able to finish the project in a car accident. So we have homage to her because she really was a passionate lover of the West Side, and as I said, never left. And at the top, you'll see the transfer station building, the way it looked, and that's a little bit cleaned up, I would say. It looks better than it did at various stages. That was put there in 1965. And not only was it sometimes used as, we call it, a dump, but they also used it as an incinerator from at one time. So they burned over there. It was just really hideous. You'll see to the right of that some of our veterans. These men still live in the West Side. Mr. Downey, at the end, is Mr. Woodford. He is a Korean War veteran. The man in the middle, in the red, served in World War II, the Korean conflict, and Vietnam. He served in the Army and the Navy. And the man at the end is Mr. West, who is 102 years old, and he served on the Red Ball Express. And that was the thing that went into military lines in the middle of the night with no lights on. They carried gasoline and supplies to the Allied forces, um, with their lives in their hands. And he's one of the survivors of the Red Ball Express. So that's our first meeting was, like I said, that Wednesday evening. And this is why it's so important for you to know people and to put them in your mind as to what they are capable of doing. Because our first meeting, we had a consultant come to it, and he just happens to go to church with me. And I went to 8 o'clock service, and he went to 11 o'clock service, and we met in between. He was coming in, and I was leaving. And he asked me, how did I like being a city commissioner? And I said, I love it. And I had this idea, and I want to bring the citizens together, and we're going to be able to do da 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 da. And I was so excited, and he got excited too. He said, I do that kind of urban planning for, that's what I do. And he said, I'd be happy to help. I was like, oh, really? Can you come to the meeting? So that's from that Sunday, he came to that Wednesday meeting, and he came with slides and showed the kinds of things, transformations he had done throughout the state and the nation. And he's done some incredible work. And he's an African American male. I don't know if you all know Ed Holmes. He's a tall guy, but just a gentle guy. But I can tell you, having grown up in segregation and having experienced some of the things that were done to African Americans, to have this African American male, successful African American male, who's done major projects, stand up and say it can be done, did something to those older gentlemen, because a couple of them were there. You could see their backs stiffening, like, yes, it can be done. And so that set the tone for our journey, that we knew that it was possible. So next slide. And next slide. I've kind of talked about that. So what was happening in the West Side? Told you about the roaches, the vermin, the odors. When they burned, it smelled horrific over there. Plus, if the wind shifted, at one time we almost lost our home because the wind shifted. And had it not shifted again, the fire would have come directly down that hillside and set our house on fire because it's brush behind there. So it would have set our house on fire. That's the danger. The truck traffic, it's terrible because people brought their dirt over there and they brought it on trucks. And so nails would fall off, the dirt would fall off, and nobody would stop and say, oh, let me pick up that litter I just dropped. They just leave it for the residents to clean up. And it was just, it did something to your psyche to know that you live near, quote, a dump. Next. So we got the group of people together, the group of residents together. And this was really interesting because we had some people, all the forces aligned. Our state representative, Matt Cook, just also happened to be chair of our economic committee. And they were trying to bring industry into Paris. But in order to come into the city, the best route was to come down the highway, which was 8th Street, and 8th Street went directly through the West Side neighborhood, and it had gone to deplorable conditions for the most part. We had fewer homeowners, more tenants, and truthfully, we had some slum landlords, and still do, and we had a lot of dilapidated housing, um, and so that's not attractive to industry. So he was interested in cleaning it up. In addition to that, we had a local citizen, Bill Alverson, who had played ball with lots of the guys once we integrated from the West Side. And he remembered going to their homes when he was younger, and the homes didn't look like they did. And he was concerned about that. And Vanessa Logan had lived away for many years, and she was left her grandmother's home, which was in the middle of the West Side. And she came back to restore her grandmother's home and live back on the West Side. And after having lived in Chicago with code enforcement, she lived in the suburbs with, and rules and regulations. She couldn't understand why there wasn't anything like that here. So we formed that group. And one of the first things that we did, Matt Cook met with some local citizens, and they told him what they wanted. So he asked the city, could they, at that time, the city was picking up the trash, could they go over to this home and pick up a commode and some rolled up carpet? And they did. And that was a major win for the citizens because they thought you can impact City Hall. And on top of that, um, people didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do. So we developed a simple resource sheet that said, if dogs are barking late at night, this is who you call. Simple as that. And what was so good is that the things that we did for the West Side neighborhood impacted the community at large, because that resource sheet was then sent out in the utility bill. So all the citizens of Paris then got information that they wouldn't necessarily had this group not gotten together. Um, yes, and we know it was a civil rights issue, because when the decisions were made to put the dump there and the landfill there, um, African Americans had no voice in the matter. Next slide. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and he can start talking about some of the things we did. I hope you all have questions. I'll talk a long time, so you have to let me stop. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike.
So in 2021, the feasibility study was outlined and options were taken. We started looking at properties, land that we could purchase, and obviously funds that had to be spent for this. So we formed a committee with the county, and the counties said that they had a piece of property, they weren't going to use it, and that if we wanted to take that property to use for the transfer station, that we'd work it out. So we leased the property for 100 years from the county now. And so then we was able to apply for a CDBG grant. The grant started out as we were going to ask for $500,000. So once we got all of our information together, we said, well, let's just go for $1 million. So we started writing out the grant, and one of the gentlemen at Bluegrass Ad said, well, let's ask for $1.5 million. What do we got to lose? Let's just try. So fast forward several months later, we get the notice back that they awarded us $2 million for the project. That's how important this project is to the community, to the state. Is they wanted to give us as much money as possible to help us with the project. Then in 2024, excuse me, the General Assembly granted us another $1.5 million toward the project. So the total project was $4.6 million, and through grants and awards from the state, we were able to get 3.5 million of the money for the project. And I discussed, if you want to go to the next slide. So we had a groundbreaking in April of 2024. The governor said it's one of the biggest groundbreakings he had seen, especially for a transfer station, but in general, it's one of the biggest that he had seen. We'd had students from both schools show up. It was a really big day, and it was an important day. Fast forward to May of 2025. On May 19th was our opening day of the new location and the closure of the old location. It's permanently closed. It won't be opened back up for business of no sort. And so we named the new location the Paris Recycling and Waste Depot, because we're trying to get away from the name the dump. And if you call it the depot, it's close. So we just said, and that was at the time we had a city manager named Jamie Miller, and we collaborated to make that name. And the new facility, it's modern, it's safer. We have safety protocols in place to protect citizens when they come to get rid of their waste. We have seen a big increase in the last month at the recycling center. So that's the important part. We're trying to get more people to recycle and less trash in the landfills. So, and it's really taken off as far as that part. Next slide. So we closed permanently in 2025. Soil testing, we had a phase 1 with the EPA. It ran out. The phase 2 is still good, so we had to go back into a phase 1, which we're still waiting on the results of that. In the meantime, they're starting to prep for writing the grant for the brownfield cleanup. We're looking for all kinds of options to help us with that. The property's been platted out, surveyed out, so we can divide it from the park that's currently there. And we are currently, we're just waiting on the phase 1. So we will donate the property to the county, Bourbon County. And once that's done, we can apply for the grants to do the cleanup. Then once the cleanup's done, the future can be decided if it's going to be a park or whatever folks would like to see it. Picture on the left is the new location, and the picture on the right is the old location. To me, being the one that done most of the designing, we was trying to build something that was easy access for everyone. And the old location, it was old and outdated. And how much money would the city spend on it? The new location, it's going to be thriving for a long time. So we're just proud to have a new location. And where we're at, we're not in no residential neighborhoods, not by no residential neighborhoods. And it's so much better. If you look at the old location, like I said, Rumpke or the roll-off trucks had to drive right by people's houses. People were bringing trash on trailers and it was falling off. It was constantly cleaning up. And this location, we made different rules and how they have to bring it in and everything. So to me, it was a great project from beginning to end. And I look forward to the new project at the old transfer station. And the community vision to restore it as a public space. And they're proposing a green space memorial or a park. The UK students have contributed to different design ideas. I have 2 of those, I think, on the photos of possibilities that it could be. That's a picture of the old location from above. That is one plan that the students have come up with. As you can see, it's a really nice park with a pavilion and everything. And that was another idea that one of the students had drawn up. The idea is to have the community to come together and decide what's best for that location. And I feel the city's committed to doing what's necessary to make that happen. And we're open up for any questions at this time.
All right. Thank you all for giving us the rundown of what was going on there. Once again, anyone who has any questions, feel free to throw those in the Q&A. I have a few questions. So I can lead us in a little discussion here in the meantime. I'm going to stop screen sharing so we can just have, there we are. Just the three of us up here. And I guess I do want to say also that that pathway to progress graphic that was shown in the beginning of the presentation, really amazing graphic and resource generally for communities. We here at Blueprint Kentucky, where I work, we use that often as an example for communities to look at to help them visualize how these things unfold over time. So I highly encourage everyone to take a look at that graphic and
It
just
can
get a
be found
sense.
at the City of Paris website under the transfer station. It's on that, it's in there, and you can actually animate it and see different parts of it. So
Yeah, thank you. Excellent plug, Mike. Yeah, it is on the website and it's animated, I think, which is what makes it even more interesting that the interactives that expand and give you more information. They link to studies that have been done and other plans. And I also want to say thank you, Anna, to naming all the folks who, well, maybe not all, but a lot of the folks who were involved at the beginning, right? Who were so pivotal in making this happen, who either can't join us today or are not with us today. I think it's really important to sort of remember who those voices are in these kinds of projects. So thank you for that. And I'm also curious, like sort of in those early days, when you were trying to get people in the neighborhood together, you spoke a little bit to this, but I'd like to hear you talk a little bit more about what the process was like of bringing people in the whole neighborhood together. Were people apprehensive? Did they think it was something that couldn't happen? Did it kind of snowball over time? I'm just kind of curious about those sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, when I started out, I was telling you all the different places I'd worked and done, and that's significant because I have the gift. It's called connect. I'm a connector, so I hear what people do, and I catalog it for later on and say, well, this person would be good for this person. This person needs to meet this person. So I had that gift. Bill Albertson has that too. And he knew a lot of people. And I knew a lot of people. But I also understand the significance of allies. Having grown up, like I said, in segregation, I understood that there are some places that I'm just not welcome. I got, I'm an African American, I'm Black, and I'm a female. So there's some places I'm just not welcome. Bill Albertson is a white male, and he's welcome at, just about everywhere. So it's really important to have those kinds of allies. So I was very strategic in thinking, who are the people that I have in my repertoire that would be good, that could come together to help us accomplish what we need to accomplish? Yes, I ran for city commissioner because when I moved back home, I was like, I'm tired of people complaining and we're not getting anything done. And so I just thought, and I said it, I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to be reelected, which I wasn't. So I need to get my licks in now. So I went around talking to the people, and I come from an old established family in the community. And so even though I had been away, two of my siblings who were living at the time were well established in the community, my sister Jo and my brother Norman. So I would just tell people I was Joe's sister and Norman's sister. So that gave me credibility. And then I would remind them that I was little Ann, the older people. So they remembered me growing up. And so I had that credibility of being a straight shooter, being kind of different, and very outspoken, to put it mildly. So I had that going for me. But yes, I had people who said it couldn't be done, still tell us it couldn't be done. And we're like, this transfer station is standing there. They're like, no, it's not. It's like there are people who won't believe it because they just don't want to believe it. But it was difficult at first. But it's like I said, having that small win, we look for the low hanging fruit. And when we got that low hanging fruit, we're like, we can do this. If we can get this done immediately, people are like, okay. And so we partnered with so many people, with community ventures, the health department. We had all kinds of people come in and speak to the Westside neighborhood. And it was so funny because when we started October, um, we were meeting in person, and then COVID hit. And these are people who aren't necessarily technologically savvy, but they learned how to Zoom and do everything. And so we had Zoom meetings. We had more meetings in the city. I told them we had 50 meetings right off the bat via Zoom and what have you. And that kept us connected, because what I didn't want to lose was the momentum that we had started. And But we had wonderful partners, and whenever people see something working, they want to jump on. And it didn't hurt that we had elections going on, so I would ask people running for office to show up to participate. I said, I want you to know what this project is, in case I'm not reelected. And I wasn't reelected again, like I said. So it was important that the people coming after me knew what we believed in, what we were looking for. And I tell you, our county judge executive, we had many calls with him. I was out of town, and Bill and I had conversations with him, because once he understood, and one of the things he said, it's the right thing to do. And he would say that. Now, he's the leader of the Republican Party in our community, so that helps, since this is a primarily a Republican county. So he believed in it. And when you have people like that believing in a project and understanding that it's the right thing to do, it becomes easier. But you have to be intentional with choosing your allies, or identifying them, and then choosing them and working with them, and but showing people that it can be done. It helps to already have relationships, but if you don't have relationships, you got to use the people who have relationships to help you get things done, because you don't know everybody, and not everybody likes you, not everybody trusts you, but they may trust somebody, so you work with that person that they trust.
Yeah, and I think that approach that you all took is something that, we talk about a lot in sort of the early stages of these kind of community development projects. It's like building a broad coalition of a lot of different people who, are residents of the neighborhood, residents of the city. You got politicians. Of course, it never hurts to have the party leader in the county on your side. Local nonprofits, regional nonprofits, like community ventures or area development districts, right? Like you build this huge tent, and then it sort of reverberates outwards. So, you all really seem to have excelled at that approach. And within that too, and this is, I think, maybe a question for both of you. You had mentioned, I believe it was Vanessa Logan, who couldn't believe there weren't any sorts of like codes or regulations around some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope this isn't a loaded question to ask, but did anything come of that? Like any new codes, any new regulations? Like what was implemented?
Yeah, Mike, you can talk to that very well. So I don't talk about yes, but he can talk to it.
Yes, so there's a lot of codes. We've created a code enforcement board. We go out, and code enforcement sends us notices. My department takes care of most of the stuff. We've come a long way on it. We've taken down several houses in the neighborhood that were beyond repair, dilapidated, and everything. And there's been a lot of progress with code enforcement and things in the area, and not just in that area. I mean, it's all over the city. We've done a lot, so it's been a good thing to get it moving. And talking about Anna was talking about moving and all that. When I was told that I was going to be involved in this whole project, I didn't see it as what can are we going to do it or aren't we? It's, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I didn't look at it as we're not going to do it. I'm going to do everything I can to see if it can happen. And we worked with Bill Alverson, was a big help. Bluegrass Ad, we had all kinds of just multiple community partners helping us. So at the Bourbon County, giving us the property to build it on. Ken Viernes, the time that they put in, because before we can put in for the grant, we've got to have so much information. And Ken Viernes jumped in. We hired them, and they were great at the project. So, but yes, code enforcement has been. We do a whole lot more code enforcement cleanups now than we had in the past. So
Yeah.
Is that sort of do you have anything you'd like to add to that component, Anna?
Oh,
Yeah.
when I came on board as the city commissioner, I asked to see the list of dilapidated housing. And this was the mindset when I came on board. The person said, well, did the city manager give you permission to see that? I was like, no, city manager works for me. I'm a city commissioner. And that was the mindset. It's like, well, we do what we're told to do instead of, like Mike is saying, how we're going to get this done. And so that's what we needed. We needed to have a paradigm shift in the employees, the city officials, and what have you. They needed to understand that we were all citizens of this county. And I tell you, there was a house that has been standing since I graduated high school, that was dilapidated when I graduated high school, and that was 50 years ago. And they finally tore that house down. I was amazed. Everybody could see that house be torn down. They were like, wow. It does. I mean, that long it had been standing, and then we start this movement, and it's no longer just that standstill. You get movement, and as Mike said, again, what the benefits that they've done for the West Side really impact the whole community. And this waste depot, it impacts the whole county, not just the city. It's the whole county benefits for this. And so when you do the right thing, everybody benefits.
yeah, and I will say on on the code enforcement, tearing down houses, that gets expensive, and so part of my job was, how can I save the most money so we can do more than one a year? So we started renting equipment, taking them down ourselves, cutting the cost in half, and now we've purchased our own mini excavators, so we can actually do a lot more of them. And we've basically cut the cost in half. And so if we hadn't had code enforcement, we probably would have. Well, we can afford to do one a year. We can do one a year. Then I see the list like Anna does, and I'm like, well, if we had the equipment, we'll get two a year, maybe three a year. And as they come along, we try to schedule those in the winter months when it's colder and we have less to do. But my crew will go out and they'll work as hard and as fast as possible to get it cleaned up and looking better. And I know there's a couple that we done last winter that the neighborhood looks a lot better without. So.
And that's it. That's that paradigm shift. What Mike is saying, because before the city manager that just left, Jamie, the mindset was like, we just can't do that. In a commissioner meeting, somebody said, well, this is air property, so it's hard to do. And I was like, well, would you live next door to it? And they were like, well, you got a point there. So, so it's like you had to have that mind shift. And Jamie came in and she empowered people like Mike, who were people who were like, let's get her done. and that's what we needed, and a lot has happened.
Yeah, well, so before my next question, I'm going to use this as another attempt to promote next month's webinar, which is about code enforcement and some of these things about community development. So if anyone wants to come to that, please sign up through the Blueprint Kentucky website. So I think y'all are like kind of butting up against this, but I'm really curious about how this has like impacted like other community development projects or how you're redeveloping other properties in the area. Was this site and this process sort of a catalyst for how you think about community development differently?
Yeah, we even have that overlay project that the planning and zoning have worked on. Well, actually, Ed Holmes, he helped us with that again. We're really blessed because he did a lot of pro bono work for us, and didn't hardly charge us for some of the things. We have a booklet, and I don't have it with me, that they shared at a conference last week in Chicago, and the people were just like, "This is amazing." We have a couple of booklets like that Ed Holmes did for us, but yes, it has spread. It's spread throughout our community. But as I said, we've presented at other conferences, national conferences, state, regional conferences, and people are always amazed at how we were able to get so much done in such a short period of time, and mindful of COVID, um, and um, and so they've looked at our process, like you said, you shared even our timeline, our roadmap. So people have looked at our processes to see how we have been able to get things done, but um, it's almost like a textbook example of, this is the stages, like you were saying, these are the stages you have to go through. And we were blessed to be able to go through those stages, but other people have asked us for information, and we've spoken with other groups, other local county officials, about ways to get things done. But it's one of the biggest things, and I think Vanessa Logan was sharing it, that is that you really have to have your city officials on your side. They've got to have that mindset that Mike and Jamie, those guys had, that you can get it done. One of my experiences was I worked for the IRS, and the director of that service center was the leader of electronic fund transfers for the IRS. And his whole position was, his and my boss was, you figure out a way, a workaround, how to get it done. And so that's always been my mindset, is like, you work around. And so they tell you can't do it this way, so you figure out a way around it, but you need to get her done.
Absolutely, and having the patience and persistence, because these things they can be long projects. Um, Looks like we lost Mike, so we might have to wait for his answer to that question. But in the meantime, I am curious as well about the future vision of the space as a park and how that came about, and sort of, how that need was identified and why.
Well, we knew that we wanted to do something with that. And so we did a community survey. We literally walked door to door, knocked on every door in the West Side, and asked people what they wanted to see over there. And one of the leading things is that they didn't want residential housing over there, because nobody knew what the ground was going to be like. And so they didn't want to risk somebody living over there and that soil be contaminated. Of course, that wasn't going to happen anyway, but um, and so based on what they said, and then the National Park Service became involved with it. Um, that creek that's right at the bottom of that transfer station location flows into the Licking River, which is a main water source for us. And so you really don't want to have that polluted. And people didn't understand how significant that was. So but we have a park, but we didn't really have a really nice park. We don't have a community center. We're one of the few communities where when most schools, African American schools closed, they became community centers or they were used in the community. Ours was completely torn down. So there's no place that you can gather outside of a church in the area. So they wanted a community center kind of thing. And then when the National Park Service became involved, then the UK students came and drafted some ideas. They were really um, excited about it. So, um, but we got community input, and then we partnered with other people to give us ideas and to bring it to give a vision so people could see it.
Yeah. Well, and that community input, getting community buy-in through surveys or, those sort of landscape design things. And in my mind is how you get people really invested in a project, right? Like sort of emotionally tied to it. Have you noticed that sort of shift in the neighborhood? Are people more invested in these things now?
Yeah, I think so. The land owning residents of the area. But because, as I said, the area became economically depressed and a lot of people moved away and they didn't care about the homes or anything. So people swooped in, bought them for little no money, and used them for Section 8 housing. And so that's a population that can be very transient. So they may not have the connection that the older residents and those homeowning residents have to the area. But people are excited about what possibly can go over there, and especially those of us who lived here before. That we're still vested in it. I mean, I still have a sibling who she helps us. The West Side has a Christmas party every year. The Paris West Side does, and so she cooks and donates, and so people, even though they don't necessarily live there anymore, but if they grew up there, they still have an allegiance there, and they're excited about what's happening.
Good. I'm happy to hear that because it is a very incredibly exciting project and prospect. And there's been, so much really good press around this too in the last, few years. It's been really cool to see, especially with the groundbreaking that Mike mentioned earlier. Yeah. Well, we've completely lost Mike. He sent me a message.
Yeah,
He
he
lost all of
did.
his internet. Um, but if there are any more questions, we're happy to answer those. And if not, I can give y'all 8 minutes of your day back. All right. Well, seeing no open questions in here, I just want to once again thank you so much, Anna. Thank you to Mike, wherever you are out there in Paris. But also thank you to all the other folks who were involved in this process early on in the community, and who kept with it,
Yeah.
and who are still keeping with it. And I was fortunate enough to meet Vanessa Logan a few months back here in Lexington at a conference, and it was really great talking to her about her return to Paris and this project and everything. And yeah, so good on y'all, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Well, we are, and we thank you for the opportunity to share, because it's new every time when I talk about it, and it never gets old, and it just warms my heart, having grown up there and experienced some of the degradation and and just the injustice, and to see it righted in my lifetime is just phenomenal. And so it warms my heart every time I do it. And I'm grateful for those ancestors who walked before me, who were proud of the area and gave their blood, sweat, and tears for it. And it's like there's a poem that says, you know, we are the answer to their prayers. And so we are grateful for that opportunity. And thank you all. And thank you all for participating. Somebody has,
Yeah.
okay. So thank you all for,
What is, I do see
oh.
this, just want to make a statement here. Let's see. What is your statement you would like to make? Let's see.
She'll have to unmute yourself, Edwina.
Yes, I have given Edwina talking
You have to unmute.
privilege.
You have to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Anna's eldest and only sibling left. I just want to make a statement to say that I'm thankful for this webinar today, and I'm glad I could to come to be able to be a part of it. And I just want to thank them for the things that they've done. I live in Lexington, but I grew up there earlier than she did. So I've gone through a lot of things, but I just want to thank you. My niece was with me when I started out today on this, and I told her, she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm tearful, and it's a lot to make me tearful." But just the fact that we even had this done is a miracle, and it's something we've needed for a long time. And just thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. That was like you two were the perfect 1-2 punch to end on, I think. Thank you for that, Edwin. I think, you know, I appreciate you coming and for sharing and you know, for continuing your investment in Paris and in your home. So all right. Thank y'all so much. If anyone has any questions, feel free. My email's out there and open. You can reach out at any time. And thank you again, Anna.
Go to that code enforcement. It's good. It's powerful. Code. All righty.
Okay.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.